Guess what? I met with one of Mira's fertility coaches yesterday. Hi, I'm Vinisha, Mira's sex hormones tester, and this is day 27. I admit I was really anxious in the time leading up to my consultation with Rose, one of Mira's fertility coaches. Whenever it comes to my health, I just expect the worst. I'm a Virgo rising. What else do you expect? But the experience itself gave me more peace than anything. But before I go further into it, let's do an internal temp check and check out today's testing results. So today, my mood is at a 4 out of 10, motivation and productivity at a 2 out of 10, sex drive is also at a 2 out of 10, and my self confidence is at a 3 out of 10. While I feel good about myself, my body's not doing so great. My back pain is still really severe, and so I'm finding it hard to get around and finish my daily activities. So this morning, I tested with the Max Wand, and taking a quick look at the chart, everything looks like it just dipped downward slightly since yesterday. My LH is at 3.1, my E3G is 93.9, and my PDG is 3.8. So let's get back to me talking about my session with one of Mira's fertility coaches. So Rose was awesome. She started off the session asking me questions about my period history and symptoms, and then we took a dive into my chart with all of my information from my daily testing. As we went over the chart, I had the opportunity to ask questions about my cycle or anything that I noticed through the past month of testing. Rose was very informative and super caring. She held a great space for me and all of my questions, curiosities, and concerns. We went over a lot in just 30 minutes. And she told me that from the looks of it, that I had ovulated, and it must have occurred somewhere between days 13 and 15 of my cycle. And she put me at ease, reminding me that the Mira analyzer takes at least 3 cycles to be able to predict ovulation, and that everything looked normal in regards to my hormones around that time. But 2 things did stand out to her. So she noticed that my E3G levels are relatively low during my follicular phase and pretty high during my luteal phase, when in all actuality, that should be reversed. And 2, she also noticed that my PDG took a sharp dip in the middle of my luteal phase. And it's so funny because a day after my PDG dipped, was when I started experiencing severe back pain, causing me mobility issues this week. And while Rose doesn't diagnose, she did state that based off of my period history, current symptoms, and information from my hormone tracking chart, that it's possible that I may have PCOS. Which is wild because my last visit to the OBGYN, I tried to start a conversation about my concerns around possible PCOS, which was immediately shut down. But now between testing with Mira, speaking with one of their fertility coaches, I feel more supported and empowered than ever to seek out help and support from a medical specialist. Wrapping up my session with Rose, she told me there are 2 ways to continue forward. Either seek specialized medical support or incorporate some lifestyle changes in order to help reduce symptoms and therefore improve my fertility health. Even though it's going to take a little bit of time, I think I'm going to go with the latter. Rose mentioned that it would take at least 3 months to recognize a difference, but to keep tracking my symptoms and my hormones to make sure that I'm on track. Because if I'm feeling better, well, that means I'm getting better. For the past year, I've had the suspicion that I might have PCOS, so her feedback was welcomed beyond measure. And even better, she followed up with some resources and information so I can make better and more informed decisions moving forward. She even recommended a series of tests that I could request in order for me to obtain a proper diagnosis. Between Mira, me, and my new fertility coach, I feel fully equipped to take charge of my health and create a better quality of life for myself. I can't wait to tell my partner about the consultation so I can gain his support and accountability too. I'm so ready to get my period back into the right rhythm and lessen my cramps and back pain. So thank you, Rose, and thank you, Mira.